Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today I'm just going to do a short little video to show you what I've been working on over the last couple of days, because I've taken a little break from doing the Iron Warriors Knight and the Emperor Children stuff and everything else, Dreadnoughts, obviously, always Dreadnoughts, to put together a small 400-point force for a little tournament that's going on next month called Purge the Pit. And it's a 400-point tournament with essentially not really anything in the way of limits as to what you can spend your points on. And there's an important distinction with the wargear selection for this tournament, which is that you can take whatever wargear is available for the model without a limit. Which sounds mad, obviously, but as far as I know, no one's abusing it too badly. And so I wanted to do a nice little 400-point force that's a bit thematic, just something a little bit different. So obviously I did a Redemptor and 3 Centurions, which is the entire army. That's the whole thing. It comes to 399 points, which I'm super happy about. So we'll just take a quick look at what I've been doing with these lads. Had to do a Redemptor, obviously, but I did one. It's a little bit. I don't know whether this is the most insane one I've done so far or not, but I'm feeling like it's kind of up there. It's not finished, obviously. I'm still working on these. This is like an in-progress thing. So some of this stuff will fall apart very easily if I'm not careful. The arms are only kind of roughly held in with blue tack, so they'll fall off if I'm not careful. There's a bit of a gap around the head there that's going to be fixed with some nice green stuff cabling, obviously. Love a bit of green stuff cabling. Now I've got the stuff to make it. Thinking there's probably going to be a bit of green stuff cabling coming out of there and around, just to properly, I don't know, like tech it up a bit. You're probably thinking to yourself, okay, now that's a massive gun that's covering half the body. How do you intend to paint this? Well, I did think about that, and also I couldn't get this join to line up properly. Again, a bit rough there, but a bit of cabling again will sort that out nicely. So just shift that. Oh, got to be careful with that. Oh, there we go. So the gun is magnetized, which also has the added benefit that should I want to give this a different loadout, I mean, it's got 2 Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannons, this thing, for the purpose of the tournament. So I thought a Knight Avenger Gatling Cannon would do quite nicely to represent 2 Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannons and a normal one as well. Obviously, got to have the normal one too. So yeah, I've got the the Avenger Gatling Cannon from a Knight, taking the place of the 2 Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannons. But what if I wanted to do like 2 Macroplasma Incinerators or something? If we ever do this again, well, that is now magnetized. It's attached to the back there, and that arm is magnetized. So that arm doesn't move. I'm just going to be very careful because otherwise it'll fall off. It took ages to get the placement right. So that just attaches there. This arm, cheeky, kind of slots into there. That's going to be a little bit better. I'm going to rotate the fist a little bit on that so that it's a bit more natural holding it, but it's fine for now. For getting the pose down, it's okay. As you can see, I foregone. I didn't use the sarcophagus, probably the easier way to say that, and instead went for a nice Night Lord's helmet there, which the head is hilariously tiny, but I'll be honest, I just really like it. It gives it a weird attitude, and also because of the way it's holding the gun, I wanted it to be posed so that it's like side on but firing. So having an actual head that turns I felt slightly better than it looking like it was facing that way whilst also firing that way. So with the head actually pointing in the direction that it's aiming, it does actually look like it's going to shoot off, which is what I was going for. So yeah, I've also taken a bit of the stuff from Tor Garadon's base there to have the foot resting on. So it's got like a nice raised leg pose, so it's bracing itself as it fires. Completely unnecessary, obviously, but I thought it was a cool pose, so that's why I did it. That basically sums up everything about this stupid Dreadnought. It was like, okay, well, I've done lots of Redemptors before. What can I do that's in a way similar, but also a bit different? I could have him holding his gun like a Titan out of Titanfall. That's what I could do. So that's what I did. So yeah, there's still a bit of work to do. There's going to be some extra cabling like winding around this arm, and it's going to loop into the gun, but the gun will still be detachable, so that it looks like there's actually power going to the weapon. Going to cover that little gap there where the magnets were drilled in. Again, bit of cabling will sort that out. For the most part, though, pretty close to being done on this guy. They're going to be pretty heavily battle damaged. They're not going to be the same colour scheme as the other Dreadnoughts. This one anyway. It's going to be a different colour scheme. I'm yet to decide what colour to paint it. but I'm going to be doing actual drilled bullet holes and battle damage on this thing. So it'll have a different look to the standard dread mob look. So yeah, that is the Redemptor, which, as I say, the loadout is simply 2 Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannons and a normal Onslaught Gatling Cannon. Not normally legal, but perfectly fine for this tournament. And we also have... that was close. Told you, they fall apart easy. And we also have the 3 Centurions, which I wanted the aesthetic to match. Now, I cannot claim credit for this idea, this conversion idea. I saw some converted Centurions ages ago that didn't use the arms, that didn't have the guns on the end of the arms on either side, and for the life of me, I can't work out where I saw it, but instead they used normal arms, and they kind of used took away the where the storm bolters and missile launcher stuff goes in the chest, and the arms came out of there instead, which I wanted to give it a try because I've already got some Centurions and I built those normally. I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I outright copied that idea. I would love to give credit to the person who actually did it first. I believe it was a Carcharodon Astra army, and I'm pretty sure as well that he didn't use Space Marine arms. I think he used Catachan arms or something. Very similar to this. I outright nicked that idea, but it does mean that it matches the Dreadnought quite well. So yeah, I cut off either half, the sides of the front of the torso. The arms go into where the chest actually has been cut off, and then luckily the pipework at the back there, it covers over the gap there. Now there is a bit of a gap down the side, but that's why I reinforced it with bits from what would be on the legs, but you can't see the legs now because the bolters are in the way. Again, I'm being careful with these because the arms will fall off. They're basically just not clipped into place, but stretched into place. So if I drop it, that'll be it. I'll lose the heavy bolter because it'll ping away, so I'm being careful. So yeah, there's that guy who has just got a nice little walking pose, not particularly actiony, but I wanted one that matched the feel of the Dreadnought. So as you can see, this guy has got 1 foot on a backpack and has got the heavy bolter up and ready to fire, which I have to say, I think this is one of my favourite poses out of the 3. I think that's my least favourite, but that's the one I did the least with. I just did the legs as normal on that one. This one, I chopped that leg and raised it. Again, I haven't put the braces on the side of the legs just because it made them look too chunky, so I didn't put those on. And also the shoulder pads obviously moved further back because otherwise they cover too much of the front. So yeah, this was the first one I made, and I didn't want to copy the pose straight off. So I did one that was just walking with that one, because the leg came that way anyway. A little bit trickier to repose that one, in fairness. And this is the third guy that I did, and yeah, I'm especially happy with this guy. I had to do a bit more to the base. He's very, very loosely pinned into the cork on here, so he'll fall off if I'm not careful. But yeah, he a little bit different with the pose. I kind of wanted more of like a back leg being braced against something look, like he was ready to go but not quite firing yet, so a bit of cork on the base to kind of facilitate that. So yeah, these guys are going to be running heavy bolters, obviously, and missile launchers. I'm just waiting for some parts to arrive because they're going to have a missile launcher mounted on each shoulder pad. Well, on one shoulder pad each. So that's going to be their loadout, and then altogether, that's the force. So you've got the that was close. So yeah, you've got the Redemptor with the Onslaught Gatling Cannons, and then you've got the Centurions with the heavy bolters and the missile launchers, which, to be honest, it's a lot of dakka. It's a fair amount of firepower, so given that it's a 400-point limit, I think probably some stuff I'll be okay against, some stuff will just wreck me. I mean, if anything gets into close combat, it's probably not going to be great. The Redemptor doesn't have a close combat weapon. I took 2 Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannons, and didn't, and so, I'm not using the fist on there. So it's kind of... He's not got quite the punching power that he once had. He does technically have a fist, but I thought it would be a bit cheeky to have both. So all the wargear and stuff, you just pay for it. So that's how that's worked. But yeah, if anything gets into close combat, I'll probably be in trouble because they haven't really got all that much staying power in that situation. But There's a lot of firepower at range, and I wanted the idea of a small, heavy, but kind of semi-elite force that was just sent in as all right, we need to deal with this quickly, deploy all the guns, go, you four, let's do it. So that's sort of what I went for. I think it's one of the smaller armies in this little tournament. I think someone's bringing 42 orc boys. So, the odds are definitely, numbers-wise, they're not going to be the biggest army there, let's put it that way. So it's going to be interesting, though. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just a little narrative campaign, a little narrative tournament with, as I say, 400-point limit, but some fun wargear rules and stuff. So, yeah, I'm quite looking forward to getting these guys finished up and painted. But that's where they are at the moment. I'll do another video once I've battle damaged and painted them up, showing you the finished product. And then, obviously, when the little tournaments happened, I'll tell you how far I got. Probably not that far, to be honest, because I have a terrible habit, even in games where I should be paying proper attention and doing all the right things, of just shooting things that would be fun, as opposed to actually doing the tactically correct thing, just because it's more fun to shoot things that are fun. That's the only logic there is. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, that's my little Purge the Pit force. I have no idea what I'm going to call them, or how I'm going to paint them, but that's where we are at the moment. And as I say, I'll update you again when there's a bit more progress on them. But there needs to be decent progress because it's, as I say, next month. So it gives me 4 weeks to finish them up and paint them. It should be doable. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of those daft conversions and kit bashes and stuff in the comments down below. If you have any ideas as to future things that could be done in this style, then of course let me know. Feel free to click all the things. Patreon video, subscribe, all that stuff. And of course there's the affiliate link for Element Games in the description, which you can click to buy stuff at way cheaper than Games Workshop prices. And if you do that, then I get some percentage that way. And 10% of the money goes to charity at the end of the month. And you know the drill. You can do it if you like. I leave it entirely up to you. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Toodaloo.